Fourth Knock Podcast, where we talk everything macabre from mysteries to murder. My name is Tom, and joining me are my two co-hosts, Edith.
What up?
And Mark.
Hello.
Here to talk about Richard Speck, Dick Speck,
Dick Speck.
as I like to call him.
What the heck? It's Richard Speck.
Did it?
Wait, let's see what our sound clips today are.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
All right, keep that in mind. Appropriate for all the laughs we'll be having.
Yeah.
Ching.
I don't know what that one's gonna. I'm sure we'll
know.
find something.
When he gets fined $10 for something, I'll do that.
Yeah.
That one's
There
gonna
it
get
is.
some. That
Yeah.
one's gonna get some use.
That's
Yeah, there it
that's
is.
appropriate for all parts.
Yeah.
Okay, so Richard Speck, what do you guys know about him? Anything? Any initial comments, questions, concerns?
I know he was, like a lot of people we're going to be talking about, he was a fucking loser, and he was ugly. He was an ugly loser.
Correct.
Okay. That's a little hurtful, but okay.
Well, I mean, you know,
I don't know why you're looking at me when you say that.
this is where my eyes are resting,
Okay.
Where my
Rest them
gaze-
somewhere else.
where my gaze is resting.
Yeah.
Rest him somewhere else.
You better avert your gaze. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
So yeah, he was an ugly loser.
Yep.
Sure.
So probably, you know, lots of rejection and all that, and had a pretty rough and tumble childhood.
Yeah, he'd probably be like a big cryptocurrency guy if he was.
If he were
in
alive
his
today.
20s, yeah, for sure. He'd probably trying to sell you like NFTs or something.
Yeah, like you can't buy or trade crypto or NFTs and not tell someone.
That's true.
That would be
for sure.
That would be Richard Speck.
Yeah.
Yeah, if a tree falls in the woods,
It's Richard Speck.
Can you sell an NFT of it?
can you sell him an NFT? Okay, so I chose this because it's in Chicago, which may or may not
We're
be
not.
where we are.
We're not from there.
Which we have nothing to do with.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
And the victims were nursing students, which I was.
We have no affiliation. We just like nurses because they're cool.
Yeah, shout out nurses.
That's also true. But yeah, I like identify with these people a little bit.
For no particular reason.
So yeah,
Can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know.
8 nursing students between the ages of 19 and 24 on Chicago's South Side.
Oh, they weren't even nurses. They were just students. They were super young.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
some of them were super close to graduating, but yeah, they were still in school, like doing their clinical rotations and stuff.
This is on like 79th and something, right?
Yeah, and like 100th or something.
Oh,
It
okay,
was,
yeah.
on the South Side.
What year did this happen?
This was in 1966.
Oh, okay.
So the actual night of everything that went down was Wednesday, July 13th, 1966. But before we get into the horrendous mass murder, we'll talk a little bit about Dick Speck's rough and tumble upbringing, as Mark put it. So Speck was born December 6th, 1941 in Kirkwood, Illinois, to Benjamin Franklin Speck. Benjamin Franklin.
Yo, that's sick.
And Mary Margaret Carbaugh Speck. Does December 6th, 1941, does that mean anything to you guys? The history buffs in the room?
That was when, I don't know, Hitler did something, right?
Close.
That's when.
Ish.
Did the United States? No, that was Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor was the next day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Holy
when
moly.
the United States joined the war.
Wow.
Sure did, yeah.
Yeah,
So
fuck.
Speck once said that the day after he was born, all hell broke loose, and it hasn't stopped since.
Oh, shut up.
Fucking loser.
That day was December 7th, 1941, the attack on Pearl Harbor that pushed the U.S. into World War II. So good job, guys.
Well,
Nice work. Wow.
Thanks. That was me, but not. I thought.
You mean Mark?
Fuck.
We might as well just call me
hard,
fucking at this point. Jesus Christ.
I only did it like 3 times, bitch.
Bitch. So Speck had 7 siblings. He was... Oh, get that out of here. It's interfering with the thing.
It's only when you inhale it, too. That's super weird. No, listen to it. It's like static.
So weird.
That's fucking Mark vaping.
That can't be good for you.
That's so
Hold on.
weird.
Ready?
That's something's
That's
gotta...
bizarre. I don't like that.
That's got to give you like cyber cancer or some shit.
It's not real cancer, cyber
Yeah,
cancer.
fucking robots get, dude.
Nanobots in my lungs.
Yeah, honestly.
Beep, bop, bop, boop, beep, beep, boop. Beep, bop, bop, boop, beep. Okay.
Yeah, it feels
So Speck had 7 siblings. He was the 7th of 8.
good. Loser.
Yep. So he
8
was...
kids?
8 kids.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Yeah, that was your first mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was the 7th of 8. He had 1 younger sister, and then the rest of the siblings, I think, were quite a bit older. So apparently Speck's father was actually a good dude, and he worked really hard, and he didn't abuse his children, and he like spent time with them and was like an upstanding dude. Unfortunately, when Speck was 6, his dad died of a heart attack at the age of 53.
Ouch.
Yep. 3 years later, his mother remarried a real stand-up POS, Carl August Rudolph Lindbergh, who was a traveling insurance salesman from Texas.
Noble work
Yep.
in those times.
Why is it always stepdads? I gotta ask you, what's going on with stepdads?
Barf.
Always stepdads.
Oh,
They're
no,
always-
sometimes it's stepmoms.
Anything with a step.
Anything with a step
Anyone
in
with a
front
step is
of it.
probably bad.
Trouble.
Yeah.
We have one that's pretty solid right now. To be
That's
fair.
true.
Yeah, but
we're
we-
older.
Yeah, she's
too,
great.
So.
But we have an ex-stepmom
Ugh.
who was
That's true.
Yeah.
questionable at best. Horrible. Anyway.
Her name is, and she's a fucking bitch.
No, I
You can
gotta
look
edit
her
that
up.
out. Yeah, great.
No,
Thanks.
no, man, leave that shit in. She lives in
No,
fucking.
because
I don't care.
you can find out who we are. You fucking idiot.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
yeah,
Okay. Great.
yeah.
Well, this is
Oh
all
my
just
God.
gonna be one record scratch.
Sure.
Like 5 minutes long.
Okay, so Carl, the traveling insurance salesman, he had his own rap sheet. So forgery, DUIs. He was a raging alcoholic, and I guess he singled Speck out, and out of the 8 kids, just beat the shit out of him all the time. Probably just because he was the youngest boy. Like the other boys were older, so they could defend themselves. He was the youngest, smallest, weakest one, so he just like got the brunt of all of the abuse. So yeah, constantly insulted, taunted, told him he was worthless, all that really positive stuff that is really good for kids' development.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So yeah, bullying profoundly affected Speck and destroyed his self-esteem. Unfortunately, 2 years after they relocated to Texas, Speck lost another family member. One of his older brothers died in a car accident. So this caused Speck to become even more bummed out. He wasn't making friends in school. He had like a terrible social phobia is what it sounds like. He was afraid of people staring at him. He had really bad acne. He started drinking all the time at the age of 12. He was like a raging alcoholic
Jesus
at 12. Yeah, so he was not doing well. Didn't do well in school, like his classes and stuff. Didn't get good grades. Yeah. So he needed help, clearly, but that didn't happen. Things just got worse. So in his teens, started hanging out with a sketchy crowd, began stealing jewelry, burglarizing homes, drinking a shit ton, like we just mentioned, constantly getting into fights, some head injuries from some of those fights, and then
Yeah,
never good.
Kind of picture him as like a greaser. Super scrappy.
That's definitely what he looked
Obviously.
like with his like combed back,
Yeah.
like greasy blonde hair and his like
Yeah.
poor pockmark ridden face. I don't know, just awful.
Rough.
There were also reports that he like fell out of a tree and also got a head injury from that when he was a little bit younger. So between the fights and the falling out of the tree and all the alcohol, not great for brain development.
Yeah. There's also like a big correlation like between like head trauma, brain trauma, and like killing people, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
And criminality, like your frontal lobe is where all the decision making happens and executive functioning. So if that's not really happening, you're not making good decisions. You don't have impulse control. It's not pretty.
No.
Nerp. Okay.
Was he ever like treated for any of this, like the head injuries or anything?
Nah.
Like, did he ever have like concussions on file or some shit?
It's just like assumed that he did, but it wasn't like, yeah, he was in the hospital for a week, like getting care for his head injuries. I didn't see anything like that. So, I mean, this was the 60s. Like, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And like, who's gonna care enough and be like, "Oh, you're not feeling good. Maybe we should get you checked out." I don't think he like had any support.
That
like
was
that.
that was not happening. Especially if the stepdad is also like beating the shit out of him. Like they don't want
They don't give a fuck about
any of that reported. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That was bad. All right. So summer of 1961. Speck is 19 at this point. He meets 15-year-old. I repeat, he was 19. She was 15-year-old Shirley Malone at the Texas State Fair. Not long after the initial meeting, Shirley realized she was pregnant.
Oh,
So
What, they shook hands and then she was pregnant or something?
that's exactly what
yeah,
happened.
dude.
Well, okay. That's how that worked, right?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so not sexual assault of a child or
No,
anything like
no.
that. Everything's good there.
It was a different time, you know?
That's what the people say. Under pressure from Shirley's parents, the young couple had to get married. That was in January of 1962. Moved into Shirley's mother's home in Dallas, and they prepared to start their family. A few months after the wedding, though, Speck was arrested after a night out drinking with his friends, served 3 weeks in jail for disturbing the peace, and missed the birth of his daughter.
Off to a good start.
Yep. When he returned home, Speck's behavior as a husband and father was very similar to his stepdad versus his birth father, unfortunately. He was violent, unstable, cheated on his wife, sexually assaulted her on a regular basis. He also threatened his mother-in-law multiple times, despite her trying to like get him out of trouble and trying to help him find jobs. And nope, just real rude. He was a real rude guy.
So what you're saying is this guy's a real jerk.
A real jerk.
He's a real jerk.
That's what I'm saying. One moment, please.
Yeah, I'm just like, of course she was like significantly younger than him, so it's like, man, who the fuck would shack up with this guy? That poor,
Yep.
naive gal.
Well, now you're
I
like
know.
trapped, dude, and you're like 16 and you have a kid with some fucking psycho.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
you know?
good times.
Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do now?
You're stuck.
Run.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably not gonna get it. He doesn't have a job at this point, right?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
He like kept getting jobs and he would get fired for not showing up and drinking and stuff. We'll get into that. So summer of 1963, 21-year-old Speck went on a crime spree, stealing beer, cigarettes, and cash from a store. He was sent to prison at that point during his incarceration, which was about 6 months, I think. He supposedly started to make some progress. He was very well behaved while he was incarcerated. He found God and began attending church services regularly.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
Hey. Amen, dude.
Claimed that when he got out, he wanted to be a carpenter, find honest work.
Like Jesus.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah. I mean, I mean, you could have just read this off the Bible.
I mean,
Nobody reads the part where Jesus steals like cigarettes and beer and shit.
rags to riches.
Yeah, that's what they don't want to tell you about his story.
Everybody
That's
loves
the
it.
part they don't tell you.
Everyone
Jesus
loves
was
an underdog
in jail.
story.
Yeah,
You're
true.
right.
True.
Amen.
Word. Okay, so he wasn't fooling the prison psychologist, though. The psychologist was like, No, he prepared the report for his parole hearing and was like, he is emotionally and socially underdeveloped, and he's definitely going to commit more crimes if we let him out, and I'm recommending that we keep him in maximum security prison.
Holy shit.
Instead...
What's the name of this doctor?
I don't know.
I got to look him up.
He sounds like a smart
smart
fucking
guy.
dude.
This guy's got his eye on the prize there.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, guys? It doesn't fucking matter because he didn't listen to him and they let his ass out.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So he was released January 2nd, 1965, serving 16 months. So he was in for 16 months. He was back to his crazy ass shit like a week later. And it just like keeps getting worse from here on out.
I've changed.
I'm going to be a carpenter like
So he's
Jesus.
So he's got the manipulation thing down for sure at this point.
No, he can fool the rubes, but
Somehow.
not.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. That's weird that they wouldn't take the psychologist's recommendation.
Yeah,
like,
what's the point of even having?
Yeah,
a
what the fuck
psychologist?
is the point of
Right.
having a report if you're going to be like, no,
Yeah.
you know what? I think he's fine. Professional. I think you're
Right.
crazy, man.
They probably thought he was like a communist because he went to college or some shit like that.
Oh,
You
you're
know?
probably
Like,
right.
like the
The McCarthy era, you know.
Yeah, like what the communists like did to intellectuals too. Like they
they just killed
murdered him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyone with like glasses and
Yeah.
shit, they just killed. They're just
Yeah.
like, you can probably read, and so we'll just kill that guy.
yeah.
It's going to be
No.
a problem for me,
Yeah.
dog.
It's
Yeah.
just
That's a hard no.
That's a
Yeah.
big fucking problem. Okay.
Jeez.
So, less than a week later, January 9th, 1965, 23-year-old Speck was hanging out in a dark parking lot of an apartment building, you know, as one does.
As you do.
Sure.
He'd been drinking per usual, was carrying a knife with him just for shits and gigs. Spotted.
Switchblade.
in case you came across a steak, you know, nice mid rare.
Yep.
You never
exactly.
know.
You never know.
Some chutney, maybe pineapple chutney.
What?
And a steak.
You don't need,
Yeah.
you
What
need
the
a knife for that.
What do
Drizzling
you-
on.
what do you eat?
A little bit of blue cheese on there too.
Wait a minute.
With the mango chutney.
Yeah.
Blue cheese crumble.
Dude, you gotta stop.
Pineapple chutney and steak.
Yep.
Are you okay?
And then white asparagus puree.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
Horseradish mashed potatoes.
All right. All
Okay,
right.
that sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah, see, I'm
Okay.
winning you over. A little
It's
bit.
just the pineapple chutney. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you lost me.
Yeah, sorry,
my
dude.
What
dude.
about mango chutney?
A chutney at all and steak.
Yeah, a little
No.
bit of chutney on steak there.
Chutney is just like a fruit preserve type thing, right?
It's like jam.
Yeah, it's kind of like jam.
Okay. Good. I'm glad that
Laying on
we
there.
sorted that out.
No? Okay, well, listen, it's good.
Cooking and murder.
Murder, yeah.
Murder. Okay, so he's got a steak knife with him.
Oh, it was a steak knife.
It's a
Okay,
steak knife
see? Not so crazy now, am I, huh?
Nope, that was a joke. So
Yeah.
Oh.
Anthony.
Fuck.
I mean, Thomas.
get out of here with that, Thomas. Okay, so sees a young woman across the parking lot, decides, all right, why not?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go buck wild.
He didn't have like a fixation on doing this, or it's just like a pure crime of opportunity, or
Crime of opportunity. He didn't plan any of this stuff. It sounds like
I think he's
he
smart
would just
enough.
get really messed up and would just lose it and
Yeah.
just start assaulting people and stealing shit.
that's like
and-
pretty rare though, right? Something like of this magnitude, just at the heat of the moment.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Mass murderer. He was one of the first. It was the crime of the century
Yeah.
back in the 60s. But yeah, anyway. So she, walks by him and he just jumps out of the shadows and pounces, tackles her, holds the knife to her throat. She screams her ass off, and luckily somebody hurt her, so he wasn't able to. I'm sure he was probably going to kill her, like whatever. But yeah, so a neighbor saw Speck, ran away, but he was apprehended by the police and was found guilty of assault and violating parole. He was out for a week, remember, at this time when he did this, 1 week. He was sentenced to 490 days in prison, but
That's it.
guess how much time he actually served?
100 days ish.
Close, less than half.
Jesus Christ. So I'm guessing that this was in the same area, so probably the same prison with that same doctor.
Yep.
And
Yeah, he hadn't gone
Man.
anywhere yet. He was
Oh, wait,
still
what
in
the-
Dallas.
What the fuck?
he must have like been able to put on like an amazing act being locked
Yeah.
up, you know what I mean?
Yep, he was just like on
Like,
his best behavior,
Yeah,
and
he must have been good.
yeah, for
That's-
sure.
Wow.
Ugh, spooky.
For this doctor is just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I fucking told you.
It's probably like it should have been like a
Yeah.
garbage man or something.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, let him out. You know, whatever.
Honestly.
See what I care.
So yeah, he gets out in no time at all. By then his wife was like, okay, this is fucking ridiculous, and she was out. So she left him, thank goodness. In the immediate aftermath of the divorce, Speck went out looking for trouble again. He started a fight with another dude at a bar, quickly escalated into a full-on fight. He pulled a knife on the dude, switchblade, and stabbed him. His mom, Mama Speck, hired a lawyer and was able to get the charge down to disturbing the peace. And he was
Damn.
fined $10
For stabbing a dude?
for stabbing a guy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
$10.
$10.
Wow.
I don't know what that is in like 60s money, but
Yeah, it's probably like
I
$100 or some shit.
Still don't think
Still,
it's very
though.
much.
Yeah, that's impressive, actually.
Still don't think it's a lot. So yeah,
Yeah.
0 jail time for stabbing a dude. Just a fine.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it was good. Next con is that he stole 70 cartons of cigarettes and was selling them out of his car in a parking lot.
Jesus.
Okay.
He had a
Well,
car?
he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, he was making mad profit.
Oh, I bet. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, so he was able to sell everything before the cops caught him, but there was a warrant out for his arrest. Like, they knew what happened. He was just able to like run away. But okay, so arrest warrant issued. He was like, I need to get out of here. Obviously, I'm gonna get caught for all this shit that I'm doing, etc. So he runs back to Illinois, his birthplace. It's 1966. He's 24 years old. Returns to Monmouth, Illinois. Got a job as a carpenter, his dream, but lost it because he kept skipping work to go drink at the bar.
You don't say. Hard. Hard building tables when you're sloshed.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
he was,
dude.
maybe he was like freelancing and he was just checking out the bar table and he wanted to improve it.
Yeah, and then just
I'm sure that's
wrong
what
place,
happened.
wrong time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this guy's innocent, actually. You can-
As we'll find out, he was totally framed for all of this.
yeah.
All right, so he shows up at his older sister's doorstep in Monmouth and is like, "Hey, what's up? I'm involved with some like drug dealers and I need help and please help me." And she really didn't want anything to do with them, but she felt bad, so she was like, "All right, cool, you can stay with us."
Sucker.
Yep, definitely. Speck did a bunch of random odd jobs, but spent most of his days just drinking a ton and wilding out per usual. He also picked up a reputation as a braggart and a liar, and his reputation around Monmouth was that he was just a seedy, sketchy, shitty character.
His worst crimes being a braggart.
Exactly. A charlatan.
A pariah. Mm-hmm. A real
So
ugly fucking loser.
So ugly. Oh, that was his number one crime.
Jeez.
Woo.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so things continue to escalate. Just after midnight on April 2nd, 1966, Speck broke into the home of Virgil Harris, this poor, sweet 65-year-old woman. Just like,
Well, we don't know if she's sweet. I mean, she could be.
she could have been awful.
She could have been a real bad person.
Oh, poor
Bad politics.
Virgil.
Yeah, she could have had bad politics.
Yeah, like Virgil was like
Yep.
the flaming racist. Yeah, who knows?
Well, or maybe she thought, like, you know.
Go ahead.
What'd she think? Tell us.
Nothing. Move on.
All right, so breaks into this woman's house. She's not home when he breaks in. She's just like rifling through all of her stuff. But she does end up coming home, and Speck just bum rushes her and like sexually assaults her and just is disgusting. He ended up getting away, but Virgil obviously reported it. She was like, yeah, this dude with like a southern accent came in, blah blah blah. So she was like able to kind of describe him. A week later, Speck struck again. Mary Kay Pierce, 32-year-old bartender, was found behind the bar where she worked. She'd been killed by a single blow to her abdomen that ruptured her liver.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
So just savagely
Holy shit.
beaten, like awful. Within a couple days, the police focused their investigation on Speck. He was often at the bar, and I guess Pierce's friends had noticed that he like kept talking to her, took an interest in her. And again, they were like, yeah, the guy had like a southern drawl. So they were starting to suspect him. So police actually brought Speck in for questioning for the two different incidences, and he was like, oh, I don't feel good. And he was like, can we reschedule?
He's good, man. He's good.
And the cops were like, yeah, dude, that's completely fine.
Yeah, like you're a white man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You're
Sorry
fine.
to bother you, sir, but you know, do you happen to know about this brutal murder that you're kind of connected with? No? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like
This isn't a good time for you?
sexual assault of a
Sure.
65-year-old woman. No, all good.
Oh, yeah. It was probably some Puerto Rican, you know.
Puerto Rican.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. So they were like, yeah, dude, you're totally fine. We can do this tomorrow.
No, I mean, it was in the
Yeah.
1960s, so it was probably like some Italian did it.
Ooh,
After
yeah.
like a pasta robbery or something.
Pasta robbery. Nice.
Gabagoo.
Gabagoo. Exactly. So yeah, they were like, yeah, no problem, my dude. And he promptly skipped the fuck out of town. So yeah. Actually remains unclear whether or not Speck was responsible for Mary Kay Pierce, because he never confirmed whether or not he did it. But
Weird.
everyone is like pretty sure.
Killed her in one hit, just a punch to the abdomen.
No, I'm sure it was like she was beat up and like kicking her on the ground.
That's what. I mean,
Well, like the punch, the hit that killed her.
well, they said one blow to the abdomen ruptured her. What was it, spleen or something?
Liver.
Liver. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's what killed her, but I'm assuming like,
Yeah.
she was beat up
Probably. Yeah.
in a general sense.
Something awful.
Because Speck is like kind of a skinny guy, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I was
he was
thinking,
kind
too.
of a scrawny dude.
Yeah.
She's older.
She's fucking 32, dude.
65?
No, the lady
that what you said?
who killed her, who died.
Two separate incidences.
Yeah,
so
the
he,
bartender that died was
Oh.
32.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Damn.
Crazy, right? He did.
What the
There's
fuck?
so many. It was like hard to keep track of all of the different little things that he did along the way, because he literally was arrested like 40 times.
Holy shit.
So it's like, and then he did this, and then he got out, and then he did this, and then he got out.
You know what,
left
though?
and he
I guess
turned
like a 1960s 32-year-old is like a 50-year-old person now.
That's
You know?
Yeah, you got to
It was
match,
just hard living, you know?
match the rate of inflation.
Yeah, they ate a lot of canned shit.
they sure
and
did.
Smoked a lot of cigarettes. I
That'll
guess.
take some years off you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Corned beef and Lucky Strike.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of salt and tobacco.
Yeah, dude. So there were,
Lots of carcinogens
yeah,
galore.
those people were fucked up, so
And
Wah,
it doesn't
wah.
surprise me.
Jello molds.
And it was the liver, and she was a bartender.
Ah, okay. So
Or Edith.
that thing was ready to pop,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah.
Definitely cirrhosis already, so
It would
Does
have
that
killed
make
her
it-
eventually.
precursor.
Does
Yeah.
that make it weaker, or your liver? Like more susceptible to be like ruptured? Or no?
If it was kind of swollen,
Yeah,
yeah.
might make it bigger. Yeah.
Because cirrhosis is just like scar tissue, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Lesioning, I guess.
yeah, less viable liver cells and more like scarring and grossness.
Yeah. So it's it's barely held together.
Yeah, it was already it was ripe for the
Right for the
rupture.
rupturing.
The great rupturing.
Sorry, that's not funny.
Yeah.
That's a good band name,
It's
actually.
ripe for the rupturing.
Right for the raspberry.
Hold on, one more time.
Sick.
Sick live. Anyway. All right, so he finally ends up in Chicago.
Maybe a screamo band, actually. Now that I think about it. Right for the raspberry.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, go on, Edith. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, so Chicago, finally. Scene of the crime. Goes to another sister that lives in Chicago. Please help me. So,
Why did the other sister kick him out? Just
Because she knew it was a fucking
Yeah.
dirtbag.
Just because he was just crazy and weird.
yeah, all the family, he was like the black sheep of the family, and they were like, okay, you are a reject and you commit a bunch of crimes and we don't like you, so you need to go.
Boo.
Oh. So yeah, he shows up at Martha Speck's door, his older sister. She was quite a bit older, so she didn't really know Richard at all. Like, she wasn't even in the house when he was growing up. She was already like grown and on her own and stuff. So she and her husband kind of took him in. They were able to find him a job as a deckhand on a steel freighter traveling the Great Lakes.
That's cool, actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, barely 2 months into the job, he got fired for fighting. They again tried to find him a job, brought him into the National Maritime Union, tried to pick up work. But yeah, he just could not get his shit together. On July 12th, he did receive an assignment for an oil tanker. So he packed his stuff up. He was like ready to go. But once he got there, they were like, we actually gave it to somebody else. So he got really mad and he went to go drink and got really drunk. Story of his fucking life.
I'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, actually. This is a valid reason to be pissed off.
Not nice. So he just wants to go get drunk per usual, asks his brother-in-law if he can have some money to stay at this inn so he can go drink some more. They give him the money, super enabling. Went to the tavern, began drinking immediately, and he spotted a 53-year-old Ella Mae Hooper. So again, like an older woman. He was basically just kind of stalking her and like, hey, like, will you hang out with me? And we need to hang out and blah, blah, blah. And he ends up like taking her back to his room and sexually assaulting her and threatening her. Same shit. Like this is a pattern, obviously. He stole stuff from her, took a .22 caliber gun, and went about his night, but he had not yet like done enough shit that night and was still like, oh man, I didn't get the job and I want to do more shit.
Wasn't satiated.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was like,
He went out after that?
yep.
Holy shit.
He wasn't done yet, dude. This
Fucking
is
party animal,
July
man.
13th. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm.
The Richard Speck experience.
Okay. So, it's 10 p.m. He left the tavern, returned to his room after his day of heavy drinking, and he already, like, sexually assaulted one person and, etc. So he is going to go out and do some more stuff, but he dresses up all in black first, and he's got his knives and his gun. He's ready to go with his slick back hair, looking real cool.
Looking real tough. Real tough guy.
Real tough guy.
Hey.
So yeah, he goes to the townhouses where he knows that some student nurses are living. And
Not for long.
Sorry, it's not funny.
God damn.
So he goes to this row of townhouses, and he like lights her off. Nobody's, currently up and about in there. Takes a pocket knife, and he is able to like open one of the windows and unlock the door and walk in. So he's in the house at this point. Prepared to kill. So he's got his gun, 2 knives, already robbed and raped someone, ready for more stuff. He knocks on one of the bedroom doors.
How many times did he knock?
Just one.
4 times.
4 knocks.
That's right.
Yep. So one of the Filipino exchange students in her early 20s, Corazon Amaral.
Hello.
She and her roommate,
DoorDash.
Merlita, were just minding their own business, getting ready for bed. And
So whose line is it anyway now?
terrible. So yeah, they hear the knocking. Amaral opens the door and sees this tall, pockmarked, all dressed in black, skeezy looking guy. She's terrified, obviously. She like turns to try to run away, even though she can't. There's nowhere for them to go. And he demands to know, like, where are these students? Like, where are they? Blah, blah, blah. And she is so scared that she, like, can't say anything, can't speak. Hold on.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Exactly.
You guys on TikTok?
No.
Okay.
Fuck no.
Why? What about?
It's a
I don't
thing.
care.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so Speck forces them, like, at gunpoint to show them where the other girls are. So they go into the hallway, go to the next bedroom, and turn on the light, and there are 3 other nurses sleeping in another bedroom. So starts to wake up a little bit. They start to wake up a little bit. And while he's kind of distracted, like assessing the situation of the other girls in the bedroom, Corazon like grabs the other girl that was her roommate, Merlita, and they actually go into a closet, and they're able to like hide in there, and he's like trying to get the door open, and they're able to like keep him out. But then he is talking to the 3 other girls, and he's like, you guys, like, I'm not going to hurt you. I just need some money. I need to make it to New Orleans. I will let you go. Just, give me all your money. Everything's going to be fine. Tell your friends in the closet everything's fine. They can come out. So they tell the other girls, and they come out of the closet because they believe him. He must have been a smooth talker.
Oh, yeah.
Because how do you get out of jail that many times? Like,
Yeah,
insane.
man. He had the gift gab.
I fucking guess so. And like maybe that Southern accent, people just thought like, oh yeah, he's a friendly dude. Everything's
He
fine.
sounds nice.
Yeah.
Why don't you come out of the closet? It's 1960s.
1966.
There's gay people all around here. No?
What?
Trying to get them out of the closet.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Oh,
Get it?
I see what you did there. I see what you
Yeah.
did there. Okay. So they come out of the closet, and he's like, yeah, it's cool, man. Like, give me your money and I'll leave. So they all like scrounge up what little money they have. They're nursing students. You don't have jack shit for money, but yeah, they're like going in their purses and like getting everything they can and giving it to him. And it's like awful.
Yeah. Wasn't it like $22 or something. I think?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
So as he's gathering the money from them, he hears footsteps coming up the stairs. So another student nurse, Gloria Davey, had just came back from a date with her fiance. She approaches the master bedroom, and Speck comes out of the room really quick and grabs her, throws her onto the floor with the rest of them, and he starts like ripping up bed sheets to tie them all up. Have you guys seen the American Horror Story episode where they kind of like depict this happening?
I
No.
saw like this, like the last part of that episode.
It's
But not like the
fucked
scene.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. So yeah, he is tying him up with the bed sheets using knots that he learned on like the boats and stuff when he was working on like the freighters and stuff. So everybody's tied up, and at this point they still think he just wants our money, he's going to tie us up, he's probably going to leave. Instead of leaving, he chooses his first victim, Pamela Wilkening, pulls her off the floor, takes her down the hall into an empty bedroom, and he's preparing to sexually assault her when he hears the front door open. Two more students, Mary Ann Jordan and Suzanne Ferris, were completely unaware of what was going on upstairs, and they're just coming up the stairs, and they are greeted by the sight of all of the roommates tied up on the floor.
How many people are in this building right now?
So there were 9 students. There ended up being 9. But
Damn.
when he first came in, there were only 5. But then people like kept coming home from their nights
Jesus
or whatever.
Christ.
So he was probably like, oh. So Speck comes out of the bedroom, has his gun and his knife, and he's like, okay, you twos guys.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you twos guys. So he ends up actually killing those 2 first that walk up because he has to take care of them because they're
like-
not like tied up.
He just shoots them then and there?
He
I don't have any more-
strangles and
yeah.
stabs them.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yikes.
He's like, I'm getting low on bed sheet tie up
Yep.
supplies. You guys got to go.
Yep. Yeah, so he stabbed and strangled them because he knew that the gun was going to be too loud. So if he would have shot them, it would have been over. So yeah, instead he strangled and stabbed them.
Ugh.
So he was starting to get a little freaked out because all these like extra variables keep walking in. So he goes back to Pamela Wilkening, who was supposed to be the first victim, and he just ends up stabbing her, doesn't sexually assault her. Excuse me. Okay. So at this point, he's killed 3 of them.
Are they like screaming now, or are they like freaking the fuck out?
I think they have, I think he gagged them
Oh, did
too.
he gag them? Okay.
So they had, the strips of bed sheets. I think they were hogtied. And then he also, covered their mouths. So he kills 3, goes in, takes his next one, and he just systematically kills each one. But meanwhile, the one survivor who ended up obviously getting out of all of this, Corazon, she's able to like wriggle under one of the beds, and he doesn't notice. Probably because he kept getting like interrupted. People kept coming. He like loses track of how
he
many.
didn't count? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, counting. It'll get you every fucking time, I
I
swear.
hate it.
Math, how does that work?
What?
So
Can't
yeah,
read.
she gets under the bed, and yeah, he doesn't realize it. So he thinks that he kills all of them, and he just goes on his way. Probably goes out and drinks some more and passes out. So after a few hours, once Corazon thinks that, hopefully things are safe, she wriggles out from under the bed and she opens one of the second story windows and she starts screaming for help. So, yeah. Police came, found everything. Horrible fucking scene.
God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. And they were like trying not to trigger Corazon. They were like, I mean, she's in such a fragile state. Like,
Ooh.
try not to ask her anything. Like, don't freak her out. She's going to lose it. Like, we need to keep her fresh for, like, you know, putting her on the stand in court so she can, you know, identify him and stuff. But yeah, so poor Corazon. Horrible, horrible shit. Corazon Amaro. Let's see. Hold on. So Speck doesn't get apprehended for a couple days, but between like Corazon being able to like describe him and everything, and based on his criminal history, they had a good idea of who this was.
Bad reputation around town.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just like stuck around. He just like, fuck it.
Yeah. And then I think what happened was he saw something on one of the papers where they were like, yeah, we think this is the guy, we're looking for him.
Whoa.
And he was like, oh fuck, this is it, guys. So he just gets really drunk per usual, goes back to his hotel room, and he uses a broken wine bottle to cut his wrists.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Another person in the flop house actually called the cops because they heard him like scream or something and brought him to the hospital. The resident who was taking care of Speck recognized his tattoo, which said "Born to Raise Hell," like a fucking
Sick.
loser.
Damn, dude.
Really fucking dumb.
I had that
Recognized the tattoo. Come on.
Where were you in 1966?
July 13th, 1960.
Yeah.
Oh, no comment.
Well, so you don't know then.
That's what we thought.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the resident recognizes the tattoo, calls the cops, and they are able to shackle him and arrest him before he can come to his senses and run away.
Oh,
So
wow, just like that. That's
yeah,
awesome.
they finally have his dumb ass in custody, and now he's like really fucked up. Like, you're not getting out of this one.
Yeah, kind of a dead giveaway when you try and commit suicide
Yeah, exactly.
and you're a prime
So-
suspect. Yeah,
Right.
pretty dead giveaway.
Yeah. So, yeah, it only took a couple days. Luckily, they were able to catch him, and he was sentenced to death for the murders of the 8. And Corazon was a badass during the trial. She got right in his face and was like, this is the guy. They were all like, oh, she's going to lose it, not going to be able to do it. She's going to be skewed. No, she got up and she pointed right in his face and was like, yep, this is the guy.
This ugly fucking loser.
Yep,
That's awesome.
sure was.
What do you have against this guy, Matt?
I don't know. He's just has a stupid name.
Okay.
Yes, it's stupid.
That's the only thing.
Him and his dumb, stupid face.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, some crimes like this. Well, I mean, there really hasn't like been a lot of crimes like this one, but
Right.
yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, you know, like sometimes it like happens out of the blue, or you know, they're better at like covering up their crimes, because he wasn't very good at committing crimes, because it sounds like he got caught all the time.
Yeah, he got caught a ton. It was our fucking fault for not like
there were so many
keeping him.
opportunities.
Yeah, no, like 40. He got arrested like 40 times or
Yeah.
committed 40, something like that.
Yeah, clearly stated by, I'm sure, multiple like healthcare professionals. Like,
Yeah.
this dude is not fit for society.
No, he's an awful
Multiple
fucking
times,
human. Yeah.
time and time again.
Well, yeah.
And then
I
look
mean,
what happened.
He's like, man, it's crazy because like he attempted to kill one person. He might have killed another person. I mean, it's pretty clear that he obviously did.
Yeah.
And people were just like, whatever.
Yeah, like that's guaranteed life. Like attempting to kill someone, like that's
Yeah.
typically life sentence, right?
Yeah, and like bar fight, you stab someone and you get fined $10.
Yeah.
Really?
Should be like 10 years at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, we just
So he was like ever since he was born, he's like always been such an unremarkable person that no one really cared what he did or what happened to him.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of sad when you put it that way.
yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. In prison, like they were just like, we don't really care. This guy's not like a threat. He's just like a fucking loser. I don't care. Like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah, that's actually really sad.
Yeah.
We
like,
paid the fucking price too.
Yeah.
And those 8 nurses
Oh my god.
fucking paid the price. I'll go over the victims really quick because not a lot of people actually talk about like each of the victims and really mention anything about them. There was a really good Chicago Tribune article that I found that kind of like talked to like interviewed family and friends of the victims, and it was a really nice article. So Nina Jo Schmale, spelled like Nina, but it's Nina, so don't fuck that up, guys. She was a good student, well liked, quiet, but with a good sense of humor. She loved Elvis, cats, and the color pink. Good old Nina.
Sure, yeah.
Patricia
Sounds cool.
Ann Matusek went by Pat. She was said to be sweet, assertive, funny, and full of life. Pamela Lee Wilkening.
She was a real bitch, that Pamela.
Whoa.
Yeah, what they don't tell you.
Hey.
Jesus.
They never do. But actually, she was a bad bitch. Please hold. Listen. Listen up.
Period.
Half
Period. Serious, steady, and dedicated. As a part of her psychiatric rotation, obviously dealt with a lot of mentally disturbed folks. During one of Pam's shifts, a patient hit her and she hit her head against a brick wall and got a concussion from it.
Jesus.
But she returned to nursing undeterred.
There you go, dude.
Bad bitch alert.
Takes a special person to be able to do that.
True.
It really
Yeah.
does. Shit happened to me too. It's not fun, dude. You just
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah, that's right.
get back in there. I got my
At,
shit rocked by somebody.
At St. What's the clinic called?
St. Mary and Elizabeth.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, dude. Oh, God.
I remember you tell. Do you want to tell that story real quick? It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is
I don't know if
interesting.
you're like allowed
actually.
to, but
Yeah, I can. As long as
Yeah.
I don't name names. You guys don't even know my fucking name. I can say whatever I want.
Sure, this story might not even be real.
Exactly.
Making
Okay.
it up. You
story
don't know.
time.
So, I myself am a nurse working on an inpatient psych unit about, it was like 5 or 6 years ago at this point. And this patient was all female unit, and they're actually way more fucking scary than the men, by the way. They have really sharp nails, long fucking sharp nails,
Jesus.
and they will
Use them.
murder you. This patient, they had switched up her meds, and she was on PRN, benzodiazepine, for anxiety and agitation and stuff. And I didn't get a good report on her coming into my shift because we were understaffed. All of you nurses will know what I'm talking about. And they had taken off that medication and she couldn't have it anymore, but I didn't know that. So patient asked for the med and I was like, yeah, sure, let me go get it. And went to go get it, saw the order was gone, asked my charge nurse, hey, like this patient needs her whatever med. It's not there. What do I do? And she's like, well, she's not on that medication anymore. You better go tell her.
That's Xanax for you layman's out there.
Yeah,
So-
essentially.
so
Yeah,
that's
it
the
was
good stuff.
a type
Xannies,
of...
yeah. That's
Exactly.
the good shit.
So my charge nurse was like being a big bitch. And she was like, well, you told the patient the wrong thing. Now you got to go tell her that she can't have it.
Yikes.
Why? I mean, just let her go without. Who cares?
Jesus Christ.
Well, all right, you fucking noob. Go out there and tell the patient that she can't get her benzo. So I did what I was told. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I can't give you the med because they took it out of your orders. And this patient grabbed me by the hair and she like hit me / scratched me on the face and it missed my eye by like a millimeter. And I mean, at that point, you're like on the defense, and I don't even think I had one of those little personal alarm buttons.
Yeah.
Like fucking someone please help
They
me.
just sent you to the
Yeah.
wolves like fucking
Yeah.
unguarded. Just,
Yep.
No.
Good luck.
Luckily, it
Fend for
was
yourself, dude.
right by the nurse's station, like enclosed in glass, like you see like in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and stuff. So like I just come out of there, so everyone saw what happened. Luckily, it wasn't in like a dark corner on the unit.
Oh my God.
So a couple of people immediately. I actually worked with like a ton of Filipino nurses and mental health, like specialists and whatever. They were awesome. They were all like such cool people, but they all like rushed over immediately and tried to grab this girl's hands out of my hair because she had such a good grip on my hair. Jesus. I couldn't, and you're supposed to lean into it. Like if someone's pulling your hair, you have to lean into it. Otherwise you're not going to she's going to rip your hair out if you try to lean away. So you have to lean into it is the official recommendation. So I'm like leaning
They have
into
an official
her.
rec for that?
Yeah,
Wow.
no, it is. That's what you're supposed to do. So I just taken that class a couple months earlier. So I knew what to do so that my hair wouldn't be ripped out, but prying her like cold dead hand from my hair was like
Jesus.
the worst. It was so scary. I've never
like
been
while
attacked
you're basically
like
like
that.
hugging this
It's
woman,
crazy.
basically.
Yeah.
Right? You're leaning into her, so it's
Yep.
like,
Can
oh
you
my
like fuck
God.
these people up? Like if they try to like swing on you,
No.
can you
way.
just pop them in the mouth?
No, you cannot do that,
Oh,
Tom.
I got your prescription
fuck.
right here.
Yeah, fucking knuckle
see?
sandwich.
Knuckle sandwich.
PRN knuckle sandwich.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
so if they try to beat your ass, we just whatever.
yeah, you just have
Well,
to be
yeah,
on the
yeah.
defense and minimize the injury. So minimizing injury equals leaning into someone ripping your hair out.
You know what they
So-
should do?
What?
They should get like a Thorazine spray. You know, like see, hit them with one of them. You know,
Yeah.
what's up?
So
Like a cat who
Oh, yeah,
like
good
keeps
call.
chewing
Spray
on the
bottle.
wires. You know,
Spray bottle of Thorazine.
Spray them a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
it's a good idea. So I was finally able to get out of there, and I had I had to go to the emergency room in the hospital to make sure she didn't like scratch my actual eyeball. So yeah, and then after that I went back up and finished my shift and had to chart on like 10 patients and
my
just like
God.
go on with
Damn,
my
dude.
day. Yeah, dude.
Keyword understaffed.
Yeah, and it was like 11 p.m. or something, and it was
God.
like
You're
I
a
had-
trooper.
Yeah, it was rough, man, but yeah, great experience.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, dude.
Learned a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're listening to this right now, this is a real big advertisement we're actually sponsored by the Nurses Association of America. So if you want to,
No, we're not.
yeah, we're not actually, but
No, but
this is
yeah.
actually a pretty bad advertisement. for them.
Join the force, you guys.
join
join
the
the nursing force. It's like really good.
Also,
All
look,
heroes.
if you're
wear
like a
capes.
medical doctor, look into that Thorazine spray.
Yeah.
That's my patent, by the way. You can't use that unless you pay me money.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Anyway, back to the victims.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing.
yeah.
I mean,
Edith.
Edith.
See,
whatever
yell
the
at
frick your name is.
yell at his ass.
That's a great
now.
story. I always like
Son
that
of a
story.
gun.
Yeah, it's
Because it just, I mean,
Whew.
like, I think it's pretty unique and pretty great. But I'm sure like a lot of nurses who would like go back to their shit. Well, I'm sure like nurses who would be like crybabies and go home. But
yeah.
I think it's really cool, like that you went back up there, finished charting all those patients, like did like all this other shit super late at night, and like just went home like it was a regular day, and probably showed up the next day and was like, okay, let's go.
Yep, that's exactly what I did.
Can you like sue these people
And
for
that was
like
my second job.
for money?
I mean,
What are you talking about?
maybe,
Like,
but like
hey,
I mean, Tom.
most people like probably aren't pieces of shit who work in healthcare.
No, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, sure, there's some, but
No, you can't.
What?
Yeah. She was-
it's not like a slip and fall in a Walmart situation here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that patient was out of her mind. It's an occupational hazard. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
you just don't
Hence,
know
like
what's
the
going to
classes,
happen.
and like they
Yeah.
prepare you because it's a pretty strong possibility.
Yeah.
I'm just asking questions. Okay.
Hey, no.
Just asking the important
My
questions.
hey,
I'm just
my
giving
apologies.
answers. I'm just
My
giving
apologies,
answers, dude, boy.
Hey, I'm sorry. I hit a real
Struck a real.
I struck a real vein with
chord.
you, huh?
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
We still have
shook.
shooketh.
All right, read on. Sister. Snap, snap.
Sister.
Hey.
Next victim, Marianne Jordan. She wanted to specialize in pediatrics. She was an impressive and brazen mimic, made everyone around her laugh. She had a wicked sense of Irish humor.
A mimic.
Yeah, like she did impressions and shit.
Oh. I was going to say, what the fuck? Mimic.
She was a witch.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah,
sounds
like
like some.
She's actually a
One of
professional
those.
skin changer.
She's a skinwalker.
Yeah, she's a skinwalker.
Mad respect. Sorry, victims. Next victim, Suzanne Bridget Ferris, went by Susie. She was the kind of girl people might call pretty, perky, and popular. She liked clothes, and since the family didn't have a lot of money, she made her own. She was a badass bee, took care of her siblings, was very sweet. And okay, let's get on to the two Filipino exchange students. So Valentina Pasion, or Tina, as her family called her, had graduated the year before among the top 10 nursing students in her class at Manila Central University. Manila. Tina was part of the wave of Filipina exchange nurses who came to the U.S. in that era to learn new things, make friends, and most of all, to work. The Filipino women often ate dinner together at the townhouse kitchen table, sometimes joined by other exchange nurses in their little neighborhood. Tina was known as a good cook. Merlita Gargulo. Merlita was considered quiet, shy, hardworking, efficient, pretty, and blessed with a rich singing voice. She grew up on the island of Mindoro, where bananas, rice, and coconut grew. She helped raise her 8 younger siblings, and she was good enough in school to be admitted to the nursing program at Arellano University in the big city of Manila. In the spring of 1966, she stepped onto an airplane bound for Chicago. On board was another exchange student, Corazon Amaro, whom she had met a month or so earlier. The two were destined to be roommates in a townhouse on Chicago's South Side.
Oof.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And finally, Gloria Jean Davey. She was driven, independent, intelligent, headstrong, poised, creative, and snippy when she didn't like what you were doing.
Oh.
Bad bitch alert.
That wee whoop.
Wee, wee, wee.
Or was she a crab? She snipped you?
Snippy. So yeah, RIP to all of these poor ladies taken way too fucking soon.
Yeah, truly. In
Like,
a horrific way.
Disgusting. Just
I know.
minding
What
their
a
own goddamn
fucking,
business.
how useless. Fuck that guy.
So, Speck's years of incarceration were not without controversy. Also, BT Dubs, he didn't end up getting the death penalty because in, I think it was 1977, the Supreme Court said that we can't do the death penalty anymore.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
Actually, I think a bunch of serial killers and shit got off from the death penalty.
Everyone's
because of
like,
that.
yay! So ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, instead he got 8 consecutive life sentences, so between 50 and 150 years, whatever. Speck's years of incarceration were not without controversy. Illinois penal system was inconsistent and corrupt, as
You don't
we
say.
are fucking aware, and Speck lived a life behind bars rife with hormones and drugs.
Yeah, just some
and all
weird
kinds of
shit, dude.
weird shit. So in May of 1996, Bill Curtis, news anchor at CBS in Chicago, received a videotape.
So he'd been in jail for 30 years.
Oh,
by
yeah.
this point.
Living the dream. Yeah, I guess only 20 something years, but yeah, whatever. So the video was shot in Statesville Correctional Institute in 1988. So it had been 8 years when the video actually surfaced.
It's in Joliet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it showed a bizarre, boastful Speck with women's breasts, probably from some hormone treatment that he was able to obtain somehow in the
Yeah.
fucking prison.
Yeah, did they ever find out how he got those hormones?
Not that I could find, but God only
Yeah,
fucking
because like,
knows.
I mean, I can almost understand it now, but like in like the 80s,
I know.
like hormone treatments, like
Wild.
that's super weird.
Wasn't that available?
Yeah.
So who knows what he was using, but yeah, he was like wearing blue silk underwear and performing like sex acts on another prisoner, and he was doing coke off of the guy's thigh and just like all of this nastiness. They also asked him on the video why he killed the nurses, and he said it just wasn't their night.
He's got like a really super like a creepy deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't their night. Like
Yeah,
He sounds
exactly.
like Buffalo Bill.
yes,
Yep.
exactly. Kind of looks like
He's a great actor. That guy's a great actor. by the way.
radish face, you know.
yeah.
And yeah, like with these really big like breasts, and yeah, like walking
Ugh.
around in like panties, and like the amount
Yep.
of like cocaine that they were doing, like this was not like a little like bag, you know, that you
No.
sneak in like up your butt or something. Like this was
Yeah,
like
this dude's doing
this was
tons
like
of coke.
yeah, like thousands of dollars of cocaine like on a plate. So it's like
Yeah.
it's no wonder like he got whatever medications like he was on so easily, because yeah, I mean they were just like casually just out in the open of their cell while being videotaped for whatever reason.
Yeah, how they got a video
I
camera.
have
Right, yeah,
no
just,
idea. There's so many things
partying.
wrong with it.
Living
Yeah.
a better life inside than the outside for sure, I think, for him.
Oh,
Well,
100%.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Some people would disagree and be like, oh, like he was like taking advantage. Like some of the people like commenting like on that video were like, oh, like he had to do like what he did like to survive, like to look more like a woman, like so he would have something to offer the prisoners. I don't think that's the case at all.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that is the case.
I don't
It
know,
almost
dude.
it feels like a fucking ISIS, like fucking beheading video almost. You know, because that guy is like right there, and he's like giving the answers that he thinks that he should say.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know, man. I almost feel like it probably is under duress, and it's been so many years because he was like getting pretty fucked up in prison, right? Like right out of the gate.
probably for the crimes. Yeah.
I'm pretty
But
sure they
they-
fucked him up.
Just the nature of his crime. Yeah.
Yeah, and there were also comments where they were like, "Oh, he was doing it to punish himself because he
Oh,
felt bad." No, he fucking
Yeah,
didn't.
no, he
didn't
doesn't have that
feel
level of
bad.
insight.
Yeah.
No, he did
No.
it so that he could get drugs and
Yeah.
survive. He did.
Yeah.
It was completely selfish. He was not doing anything for like penance upon his soul for
Give me a
his
break.
sins.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
please.
he was just like a pure like hedonistic dude
Right.
who
yeah.
did anything to either escape pain or.
Mhm.
So I mean, he was like, God damn, that video was so weird, dude.
Yeah. It is very strange.
Because you can see that dude in the glasses, that's like his like.
His like daddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what you would even call that in prison, but he's like the bitch in that relationship,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
and that's where I'm kind of getting that ISIS like fucking beheading video. 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like that guy's basically like holding up a fucking AK-47 to that dude's head.
I
Being
mean,
like, you better sit, because he's like
probably-
giving him commands and shit too.
yeah.
Oh man, God, that video is
Yeah.
so fucking gross, dude.
Yeah,
God
it is
damn.
so strange. Yeah, because, yeah, I mean, you get in where you fit in, like that's what they say in jail, you know what I mean?
I
so
guess.
it's like, I mean, what other role is he going to take? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because like
he's not a cool guy,
Well,
he
he's like a
doesn't really have
huge-
much to offer.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. He's a
yeah.
huge pushover.
Right.
So like,
yeah, just a fucking
people are gonna
doormat.
Yeah, he's like hugely famous already the second he gets
Right.
into prison
Yeah, that's a good
because he
point.
killed fucking 9 fucking people or 8 people
Mhm.
or whatever. Well, potentially more than that.
Right. Yeah.
But and now it's like he's super weak. He's really fucking weird. And then like you have to fuck that guy up because not only is he easy, he's like easy pickings, but you're gonna get like pretty famous in the prison for fucking that guy up.
yeah.
You're gonna get
Yeah.
a lot of street cred for fucking that dude up.
Yeah.
Or like making him your bitch or whatever.
I'm surprised that like he didn't get killed. Like most like weirdo like J-Cat freaks like that, like Dahmer and stuff, like they just get their brains beaten in with a broom handle like 1
Yeah.
or 2 years in, you know what I mean? Like they usually get murdered because they're weird. Like they're weird losers, and like weird losers who like commit weird sex crimes. Like like they don't last long in prison, but somehow.
Yeah, because Dahmer
figured it out.
Didn't Dahmer get killed like within 2 years of his prison sentence or some shit like that? Yeah.
He was a trustee with this other guy who like they did not get along, and one day he just fucking beat him with a broom handle to death.
Yeah. Because
Dahmer was a fucking weird little asshole, freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that
People are like, I don't like you, dude. Like you're weird. So
well,
yeah,
that
like
it's
they're just
like,
gonna
dude,
kill you.
I'm the guy who killed Jeffrey Dahmer, man.
Yeah, fuck
That's fucking a big deal.
yeah. Like you probably get like fans like writing email and shit. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys want to hear about how this motherfucker ends?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Does it get eaten by like wolves that
Oh,
have
man,
like
if
HIV or
only.
something? That'd be cool.
HIV wolves.
Yeah.
That's like the worst death you could wish upon someone.
And they're all like conservative too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's extra bad.
Extra awful.
So wolves with AIDS with
Yep.
bad politics.
No, they have
With
HIV.
bad politics.
They have HIV, not
Oh,
full blown AIDS.
okay.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Because I would make them all like weak and like
Oh yeah. Shout
That's
out.
true.
I'm not talking
Shout out to the
Philadelphia Wolves. I'm talking pre-Philadelphia Wolves.
You've heard this, right? Like how there's that woman got cured of AIDS.
I don't think I heard about that.
shit.
That's
Yeah,
awesome though.
Yeah. So at work, like there's in the elevator, like there's like a cool little like
Oh,
TV screen.
I missed that.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
yeah.
get all the good
Oh my
news.
dude, man, there are some tidbits.
What?
Some tiggle
Man,
bits.
man, like
In
that's
the
like
elevator, they have a
yeah, dude, yeah,
TV
yeah,
in
yeah,
there?
like
Here's a little
like
screen.
when you're pumping gas, they do that thing. But this thing is like on
Oh,
point.
that shit's annoying.
It's got like cool shit.
Oh, sick.
In-
Okay.
all
recently-
the hot goss.
All the hot goss, dude. Yeah, like this lady got Magic Johnsoned. She had-
Magic Johnson.
Straight up magical.
What's
guess-
going on? Yeah. Okay.
And guess what the cure was? I mean, like something that we've,
Prep?
fucking stem cells, baby. Something that we
Awesome.
Oh, really?
have been ignoring.
Love
I
a good
think a
stem
lot.
cell transplant or treatment or whatever.
So maybe people, pull their fucking head out of their ass and start,
But
pushing for stem cells.
the heartbeat. Speaking of hearts, Speck died of a heart attack at 6:05 December 5th, 1991. One day before his 50th birthday. That poor son of a bitch. So yeah, he
got off.
died of a heart attack. So yeah, he was already dead by
got
the
off
time.
easy.
Yeah, he did. Fucking piece of shit. So they did an autopsy, and obviously his like arteries and stuff were all occluded and looked like shit. But they also took a look at his brain. Found some abnormalities, as you might imagine. So 2 areas of the brain, the hippocampus, which involves memory, and the amygdala, which deals with rage and other strong emotions, were like encroaching upon each other. So they were like
Ooh.
all large and
Ew.
enmeshed and whatnot. So they didn't do a whole lot more with the study, and they didn't know exactly what that even meant, but they just knew that things did not look right with his brain. So there were also rumors that he was XYY. Do you guys know what that is?
He was the hermaphrodite.
No.
No. So XX is female, right? And XY is male.
Yep.
So XYY. Y is the male chromosome.
Yeah.
So he had 2 male chromosomes.
Yeah.
What are you, a fucking scientist now?
Well, no, I fucking read books sometimes, bitch. You should try it.
You passed the 3rd grade, basically.
Fucking loser.
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So it is a rare chromosomal disorder, and actually most people that have it don't even know that they have it because it's not like a super outwardly appearing disorder. But yeah, caused by presence of an extra Y chromosome. Nice work.
Thanks.
So
What was that?
I mean, Tom.
Thanks.
So this disorder, like, would it give you huge tits or what?
Well, no, it's a male chromosome. Dumb fuck.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, this
No.
guy's all over the place. I'm just trying to keep up.
No, you're right. So
What would it do though? What would an XY
so
chromosome?
apparently doesn't even do much. Like outwardly, sometimes people are just very tall in stature, but often people with XYY are on the spectrum. They have attention difficulties, delayed motor skill development, delayed or difficult speech, emotional or behavioral issues, involuntary muscle movements or hand trembling, hypotonia or weak muscle tone, learning disabilities, taller than average height.
Weird.
So it wouldn't.
That's interesting. I've never.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Never
it
heard of
wouldn't. It wouldn't produce. It wouldn't make you produce more testosterone. I'm assuming.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so
Bummer.
it's most people, it seemed like when I was reading about it, like you don't even know you have it unless you happen to do a chromosomal analysis, which
Yeah.
whatever, people don't normally do. But
Weird.
but I think they ended up being able to do it for Speck, and he actually didn't have it. But yeah, that was just one of the things that I saw. But I think that he had antisocial personality disorder and also like really bad social anxiety growing up. And he just got the shit kicked out of him all the time when he was little and made him feel like he was worthless and weak and didn't
They were
turn
right.
out. Didn't turn out. They were didn't turn out so good. So yeah. That is the story of Dick Speck.
Dick Speck.
Yeah, be nice to your fucking stepkids. Moral of
Yeah.
the story.
Honestly, dude. Fuck.
Yep.
Probably could have avoided a lot of this.
Also, just stop at 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
stop
yeah,
at
this
3.
whole thing could
Let's
have
go
been avoided.
before.
Let's put a
Yeah.
cap on it. Let's put a cap on the
Nothing-
kid quota.
Yeah. Nothing ever good happens when you go past that third kid.
It really doesn't.
I'm telling you, it's not good.
No.
Because like, I don't know if you read about this, but doesn't the I'm pretty sure like after the third kid, don't kids after that like have more estrogen introduced into their bodies?
I have not
I'm, like,
read
pretty sure.
that, but
Like
that would
from
be
birth?
that would be really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. There was like some report because like they figured out that like after the second or the third kid, like the chances of I don't know if there's like a correlation between estrogen and a kid being like gay or whatever, but there was I think there's like a 17% increase in your kid being a homosexual if he's a boy after like the second or third kid. It's pretty interesting actually. But
I think I've actually
not that this really matters to this, but
yeah, but I
it's
read
just kind of interesting.
something like if you are in utero exposed to more or like certain hormones, you're more likely to be
Yeah.
homosexual or transgender or whatever.
Yeah, I think like I don't know, human bodies aren't really built. Well, I guess they
we're
kind
not,
of are.
We're not
but
even supposed. We couldn't even survive if we didn't have medical intervention during births. Like
Yeah.
our species would be fucked.
like having like, because did they know why he had an XYY chromosome? Like what causes it, or is it just
a
chance?
random mutation,
Yeah.
but he didn't actually have it. That was like a
Right. That just
But yeah, how it actually happens is just by chance. It's just a mutation,
Right.
Like trisomy, so like Down syndrome.
Right,
It's the same idea.
But I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe those weird psychological disorders kind of compound on themselves when you start having so many kids. Because it's almost like you're like DNA replicating or cells replicating. Like something eventually breaks down. Yep. You're like, you can only mass reproduce something so many times before it, starts to break down. Because like once one thing does, it's like a cascade. So it's pretty weird. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, being gay is not the problem here, and I don't even think he was gay. I think he was just doing it out of protection for himself. But
I feel
I
like
don't know, it's very strange.
So they were saying that he did all this hormone woman stuff because he's trying to survive in prison. There's a part of me that thinks that he actually was maybe gay or trans, and I don't know. I think that he clearly like hated women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's
that's a fair point.
something.
So he wanted to be them. I don't know.
He was having trouble with his own. I think that there was
Identity.
something going on there. Yeah, like some sort of identity issue, and I think that he. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, like he was a total like outcast as a man in society, and like probably didn't get like a lot of like positive attention from women, hence like
Right.
shacking up with 15-year-olds and such.
Right.
And then like in prison, like started getting attention from the male population. I don't know, you know. So I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe.
get in where you fit in, I guess.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, motherfuckers.
They're fuckers.
Thanks for fucking tuning in to our
Yeah.
motherfucking show.
Thanks, guys.
You little pieces of shit.
The Fourth Nog. We didn't do an intro for this one, but you
Yeah.
know, listen,
You get
know
the
what's
point.
going on. Yeah.
You've been listening to Four Knocks, dude.
it do.
3 knuckleheads, 4 knocks. You get the fucking
Yeah.
idea. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.